that has been
Oh, yeah.
created, and you see it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. We got Man of Tomorrow and Lawrence Guy on the panel. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
Shalom, shalom. As always,
Hey,
thanks for
what's going on,
having
man?
us.
What's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. So I tried to come out with another haymaker here to start things off in the previous in the introduction topic. So I guess what did you guys think about that with the Tower of Babel and how it correlated with the pains cycle of pain speech?
Yeah, it's. I mean, for me, it's just this is the same thing that goes on within here, and there was like another. No, we'll get into it later, but you have to realize it's spot on. Like this is why you don't need all day for truth. You can hit the truth and get out of the shit if you actually wanted to get past it. But some people like the entertainment level of going through the cycle of pain to truth and back pain to truth, and that stuff just generally don't work all that well.
Right. I agree. I agree. Black Curls, welcome. Lawrence, your take?
First of all, shalom, Black Curls.
Shalom, everyone.
As far as my take, I can't disagree with what MOT said. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Gotcha. Understand.
Black Curls.
Black Curls, yeah.
Yeah, because I agree also, because when we talk with each other, we have the same language, we know the same, common universal gestures, but we just can't agree with each other. And like you said earlier, Eisen, if humanity ends, that's when this cycle would actually end. It's like we weren't meant to actually be agreeable with each other.
Exactly. It's exactly how it is. Yeah.
Well, if I could
Go
throw
ahead.
something in on top of what Black Curl said, um, from a scriptural point of view, it's already been claimed that there's no, just from a scriptural point of view, not secular, that there's an inability of man to be able to achieve peace. It can only be done through the will and the power of the Most High Himself. It is not for us to be able to accomplish that. And whether you believe in scripture or not is irrelevant. One thing that can't be denied is we've seen time and time again throughout history that there's a point we can't. So, I mean, we claim to try, but we can't. And like I said, if there's any level of unity, it comes right back to what MOT said in the previous stream. It's just for mass burial, man. It's either mass burial or to commit atrocities to each other.
Yes.
And like Black Curls was saying, we talk the same language. We have the same concepts and formats. Say among ourselves per se, that we can understand each other. We can come to some level of agreement or civil discord and try to make things work. But as MOT said in the back chat before we started, there's this aspect where people like us who can come to those agreements and can focus on that language of understanding, we can allow the people who aren't to come into our space, but they will never allow us to come into theirs. Did I get that right, MOT?
He may be busy.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you
Okay.
There
did.
you go.
Okay.
You did get it right.
Okay.
Because,
All right.
because,
I wanted to make sure I didn't misquote you. That's why I was asking.
yeah, but there's a reason why. Because peace don't equally benefit everybody, but chaos equally benefits somebody. And
That's
they're in
true.
the somebody camp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And going to the clip that was played at the end with Naruto, I noticed the interesting part to me is that it talked about justice and vengeance, and I think that's one of the language problems we have too, because uh, vengeance has been conflated with justice, and the two are totally different things. And in addition to that, it's not necessarily so much about justice for me, but from a scriptural perspective, it's about righteousness. But that's my take on it.
Well, the thing is, just that you point out there being a difference between vengeance and justice. The fact is that vengeance is fueled by emotions, whereas justice is supposed to be about the practical application of punishment laid out for or reaction laid out for said action.
Right, and that's the point I was making when I was saying that vengeance and justice are seen as the same thing, when it should be justice and righteousness that should be seen together. Not necessarily the same thing, but they should work in conjunction with each other, not the other way around. Because if you conflate vengeance with justice, it's just going to go straight to hell. I mean, let's call it for what it is. It's a bad day.
Right.
But when justice is tempered with righteousness, it has a tendency, more often than not, I won't say it's perfect, but more often than not, you get the outcomes that are beneficial for as many people as possible. Because, like the saying goes, you can't please everybody, unless someone disagrees with me on that. But that's how I see it.
I think the thing to point out is the simple fact that because the line where he said that we simply believe that human beings cannot understand each other, that's the reason why vengeance is going to be uh, intertwined in with that justice. You'll never get
Fully
it.
remove that.
Yeah, you can't move. It'll never be removed.
Yeah.
Because of that emotional aspect, because of the simple fact that human beings can understand each other.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that.
MOT. Oh, he's
Yeah. So what I do is I'll explain the difference of why that's not the case.
okay.
Timothy McVeigh and the Murrah building.
Oh wow.
He killed hundreds of people. All they have left is to punish one guy for those 169 people who was lost.
Uh-huh.
So if you allow people to color the actual way of vengeance versus justice, all you have to do is point out that example. There is not enough you can give out of one person that can compensate you for 169 people.
True.
But
Yeah.
the process has to be the same across the board. So that way, even if he did do something of that level, the punishment has to be the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't recall anybody wanting to volunteer to serve some of Timothy McVeigh's death sentence either. So what you do, so what you do is you make it so that way, okay, maybe this is vengeance. Would you like to serve some of this person's punishment for them, for everybody else who was wrong? And this is why they used to do like the punishment of generations. Because one generation of people could not be compensated for what this person have actually taken.
Yeah, sins of the father and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great point there, MOT.
Yeah, that's how one person can do something wrong, and that entire bloodline that carried on after that person would be in servitude to who the original person did wrong,
or even the group.
Yeah, or the group.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Agree.
Yeah. MOT nailed that. That's exactly how it used to work.
Yeah, you did have that, and in some cases you had it too, where families would cut their individual off to
spare themselves.
Well, not only spare, but to spare generations after that. That way, they wouldn't, that stain wouldn't be on them. They would cut them off. That way, they wouldn't be like, hey, that is not our people. We cut them off. They are by themselves.
Oh yeah, they go so far as to move, change their names, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. I mean, we used to kick people out of the family and make them change their name before they left.
Yep. Yep, that is correct.
Man, just can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't
I
argue
mean,
with that at all.
could you imagine how much easier it is if everybody had to change their last name to nigga when they fucked up so bad?
I guess the only thing, nigga. The first name is still whatever, but the nigga's the last name. Damn, it's a whole bunch of you niggas, ain't it?
change your make them change their last name to nigger and their middle name to the.
Yeah.
So you'll be
Keisha's the nigga.
Yeah,
Charles the nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, the middle name could be anything. You know, somebody you may call them foolish. You know, middle. You know, that's Charles Foolish nigga. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you had to take on that nomenclature, man, yeah, people might rethink a few things.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them, but a good portion. Enough, yeah. Enough wood to make the point to a whole lot of others.
Exactly.
But it's interesting because with the tower and the changing of the language, and I just thought of this just now, and then I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. But with the changing of the language, I'm thinking it went a little deeper than that. It wasn't just a change of language; it was also a change of thought processes. Because when the language changed, of course, they couldn't communicate. And because of that, they all separated and went their own way with whoever could understand each other. And that thought and the thought processes came when you started building or creating things different, from culture to, what to focus on, et cetera, and so on.
I would say, I guess, with that first initial change, as I try to point out, the most important thing was the simple fact that they couldn't understand each other on a human level.
Right.
So that was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing is, with the language change, it's going to also be, with both of those changes, it's also going to be an emotional response to it.
Oh yeah. Well,
so with that, you're going to have the confusion and the anger. So therefore, with the confusion and the anger, you're going to have some recklessness and you're going to have violence. There is no way around it. So some people are going to go.
Well, I mean, the fear alone causes
fear as well.
Fear. I mean, it causes violent reactions right out the gate.
Because
generally,
it's either going to cause that or flight or somebody run. It just depends on the type of the nature there. Yeah.
Right. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be one or the other. But without doubt, there were those because that's what fear does: fight or flight.
Yes.
And it's easier to destroy something you don't understand than taking the time to understand it.
Yes.
So so there's
And that's
that.
why the language change was so detrimental, because none of those people were actually working together. If they just changed what they talked about, nobody wanted to take the time to sort through the actual thing to still work together, because it doesn't matter if the language didn't change if you're still all working toward the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what resets in YouTube are about. It's the Tower.
I was just about
Tower
to
of
say
Babel.
Yes.
That's funny.
It's
That's
great.
funny.
Yeah,
That's
because
Oh, that's great.
because in this story, their god, they are the god of fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
And they see that this nice tower that they're building, which is the new community. And the moment that the new community is not going to serve their needs, it's time to start making words mean certain things that it don't need to mean. So
Yeah.
That's
And-
great,
and-
MOT.
Yeah, that was, and it's interesting because it's something that in and of itself, at the immediate moment it happened, was easy to fix. If it, like, say for instance, like all of a sudden all of us, all of our languages changed right now. We're in a room together, and in the room there's a table. Okay. We start talking, we can't understand each other. But if I went over and I tapped the table and said the name of whatever language I was using for table, you would come over and tap the table and say what your word was for it. And then right then and there, we have the beginning of some attempt at understanding. We both know that this is a table, even though we're using different words to describe it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, they could have did something as simple as that. Picked up a sword, and one could have said sword, the other one could have said ikma, but we are both touching the sword. So whatever word you're using, we both know, we have an understanding. This is the tool we're using. You know what I mean? It could have been as simple as that, but they didn't. They just scattered, and then it scattered. And for those that applied,
They probably fought originally.
Yeah,
Before they scattered.
that's what I was saying. They scattered, and for those that it applies to, they fought.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could have been fixed just that simple. But again, that's the nature of man. Again, it's I think it's a quote from J.R.R. Tolkien. I remember from a long time ago. To destroy something in order to understand it is but the first step off the path of wisdom. Something like that.
Wow.
And that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Wow. That's powerful. Before we keep going, I just want to say shout out to Marco Grande. Thanks for the cash out, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening in. I like them
Go on,
peas
Marco.
too. But yeah, how MOT, how you broke that down about that Tower of Babel and nigga YouTube. Oh man, that was so spot on how it applies to things right now.
It
is. and not just nigga YouTube, but
I was getting
society, man. It's just
because I was getting ready to say not just that, but if you look at the Black Manosphere, wouldn't and you guys know this better than I do, but wouldn't the Tower of Babel be just another way of saying reset?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
What it is well actually a building implosion. Where while we're building the building, they're going in for the quote unquote inspections, just lining the building with actually explosives. So the moment that we say that we're about to make some progress, they just pull the building. And you start over.
Yeah. What about you, Black Girls?
I think he's still away right now.
Oh, okay, he stepped away.
Yeah.
So that's I can't. Yeah, that was a good example. That was a good analogy. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it was spot on, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of leave you're silent and pausing for a minute.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Golly, it's so accurate, man. Yeah, I mean, just didn't want to implode it on everybody. We gonna get rid of all the.
And
I was gonna say, and if they survive, they got to start over again for us to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And guess what? They pull the building while they're outside of it. So everybody who's partying in the building is going to be part of the rubble. So wow, they're like, you know what? You can build the building, but let us moderate the inspection of what's going on here. So that way they can still control what's happening. Mm-hmm. But you think that, man, this building is great. We're about to go make some progress. It's like, let me go to my car. I think I forgot something.
Right.
Yeah.
And next thing you know comes the remote control to tear down the entire building. And that's what the reset is.
And it's interesting because tearing down that building, and let's say we're the ones inside of it because we're the ones building it, so we're working in there, and the idiots tear down the building. What fascinates me the most is that not understanding by destroying us, they're destroying themselves too.
They see themselves as separate from us. That's why.
Yeah.
No, and I understand that. I absolutely understand that, and I do not disagree at all. But still, nonetheless, the end result is the same because the vast majority of us as Black people, culture, whatever you want to call it, exists because of us, not them, and that's fact because we're the builders and they're not. So they fail to understand by removing us from the equation or considering themselves separate from us, that they're not doing anything but hastening their own downfall.
Well, they actually are a downfall as of right now because when it comes to economics, everybody is moving up except for them. They're the only group
Correct.
going downhill.
Yeah, correct.
Their music isn't even relevant anymore.
No, it's not.
Ooh.
Which has removed their relevance as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, because even with the genre, when the men are gone, because that's who they mainly listen to. Once the men are gone, they're like, all right, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know, it's interesting because and those of us here are old enough to recall a lot of this, but you don't see the excitement in music or performers in music that you used to see when, say, Jodeci showed up. The same way with Jodeci, you didn't see the same excitement that you would get if the Isley Brothers showed up.
Or Michael
You know,
Jackson.
or Michael Jackson, or before Isley Brothers and Michael, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, yada yada. Each generation, the importance and the love of that music keeps diminishing. Like right now for myself, and we've talked about this before, you guys are going to a conversation about certain music. I can't hang. I don't know who these people are. And it's not just music, it's just culture as a whole. It's become so jaded and monetized, even more so than before, that you know you lose interest or desire for it. At least for me, anyway.
Mm. No,
Yeah,
I
but
get it.
language. Yeah, but music reflects cultural expression.
Mm.
Yeah,
Right. True.
and levels of values and everything else. So
Right.
you can tell a lot about a quote unquote culture and the way their direction are actually headed, depending on the actual entertainment that they consume. It's like people are like, where do all these non-functional families come from? I'm like, did you watch every white sitcom from the actual 80s to the 90s? It was reflecting what was actually going on within the culture. None of this shit was foreign or alien. It was exactly where it was going.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And you saw it in some of the black shows as well.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it was just there. You know, you can call out Good Times, The Jeffersons, The Cosby Show, Different World, whatever you want. But it's been reflected there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, and there was something to point out about what MOT said about it was a reflection on the on the codes and standards of the culture. You hear so many times people want to actually blame the music for the standards and code of the culture uh, as a way to get to snake out of that responsibility themselves. I find it so interesting, and the men do it as well. So you know, it just goes to show how feminine these dudes are as well.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. But that, but yeah, but that language barrier continues to exist, even if we are using the same words.
Right. Yeah.
And that's uh, I don't have a better word, but it's somewhat disheartening.
Look,
Um,
Lawrence, I saw
but
something
but but
crazy.
but at the end of the day, it's the same situation I've said before. I'd rather watch it burn to the ground to contribute than to contribute to it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, Lawrence, look, I was on a stream the other day, and this guy read the definition, the legal definition of solicitation, and then
Uh,
another guy denied the legal definition. I'm like, what?
yeah, I saw that a couple of months ago with somebody else when they were arguing about facts, and they said facts don't mean the truth or something like that.
Yeah, just because it's facts, it doesn't mean it's true.
That doesn't mean it's true.
Shit
So
was great.
yeah. So
And that wasn't the worst thing he said. My bad.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't the worst thing he said. But the fact of the matter is when he said that, I knew the game was up. The jig was up. It really was. Um, that's why. That's why. Regardless, I mean, like I said, I try to follow everything from a scriptural perspective. I know other people follow it from a non-scriptural perspective, but nonetheless, those people who don't, I can work with because it's still based on logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And regardless of my scriptural belief and et cetera and so on, I know facts are facts. I have to accept them for what they are. I'm not going to ignore them just because of particular preference. Because if I do, that makes me an emotional person.
And
And
it makes you
emotion,
fake too.
it's fake and it makes me emotional. You know, and at the end of the day, that's not going to get me anywhere. And it sure as hell is not going to get anybody I'm trying to help anywhere. So I can deal with people whose thought processes are different than mine if we come to agreement on facts, because that's one thing neither side can argue. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference if you're scriptural or secular. Facts are facts. You cannot deny them. They have to be what they are. So when I saw that moment when that person, and I'm not going to throw out names, but when that person said that, I was like, okay, this place is finished. I mean, that moment right there, and because you and I talked about this, Eisen, on separate occasions.
0-2. Zero brought it to your attention.
That's where I saw it. Yeah, because I was watching it live when it happened, and it was with Zero and someone else. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, we are done as a people. This is over. There's no, and that's why I've been saying a lot lately about not being any debating on this anymore. Everyone said what they had to say. Everyone's told us what they think, what they believe, what direction they're going, what direction they're not. This is not even a game anymore because the game's over. So I get what you're saying, Black Girls. I really do.
My bad, Lawrence. I just gotta ask.
Yeah,
man, it took you that long to realize that them people are over.
Well, no.
I'm just saying it took that right there to realize them people over. Because I ain't gonna say us. I'm gonna say them. I don't consider them niggas with me.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and both of them are my fault. Gotcha. I will acknowledge, because before I say what I'm about to say, I will acknowledge it was my fault. The first one is that I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that damn bad.
Okay.
The second thing is that I was a hope nigga. I was hoping motherfuckers could come together.
I was waiting for you to say hope.
That's why I said. That's why I said it. That's why I said it was. That's why I made it abundantly clear before I started. It's my fault.
Gotcha.
because there's always this theory we can come together and we can get past this and we can figure it out. That hope shit, and that's where I was. That's why I started off by saying it's nobody's fault but mine, because I bought into that. Nobody sold it to me. I bought into that. But when I heard that, I was like, okay, my job's done here. I pulled out that hope chest. I put hope back in it, and then I burnt that motherfucker. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest about it, if I'm gonna be told, and from that moment forward, I don't rightfully recall when exactly it happened, but from that moment moving forward, I started to see a couple of other streams, and it stopped affecting me the way it used to. Gotcha. I started seeing it for what it really was, as opposed to what I hope it could be.
Gotcha.
And then from there, I started putting people in their proper perspectives, and I started realizing, okay, yo, Lawrence, yo, man, give me your number so you can. No, not you.
Yeah.
No, not you. But somebody else is like, yo, Lawrence, let me get your number so I can talk to you. Okay, you can have it. I started doing it, and that's when I started getting into we're men, they're niggas routine.
Gotcha.
And being able to distinguish that. And I guess that's why I'm so hard on myself, and why I'm also so hard on this space, because I know there's still a lot of brothers out there who were in that space I was, where it was a hope thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that can't be denied. And for whatever reasons, whether it's hope that the pussy's going to come back, whether it's the hope that we're all going to get along and figure this out, whatever it is. And those brothers have to be, I don't want to say pulled, but they have to be guided to the understanding that, one, your hope means nothing. And that's what I have to, and then just like I had to accept it, my hope means absolutely nothing in the face of truth and facts. And that's why I started explaining to people, when we talk about faith, the difference between hope and faith. Hope is expecting something could happen. Faith is understanding that it will happen. And there's a difference. And you have to be able to apply faith to the proper situations. And this ain't one of them. This space is not one of them. It just isn't.
Yes. Go ahead, MOT.
Did I get that right?
Yes, that was perfect.
You did. And And what people don't understand is most of the stuff of the hope, it was simultaneously their fault for believing, and it's their responsibility to stop believing.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like this: you have to go from a level of abject exposure, then you have to walk the exposure back to awareness, then you have to walk it back from awareness to not being around, so that way you're not aware or exposed. And the fourth level is self progression in the other direction. You see, people want to sit in between that exposure and awareness kind of zone. But I'm like, you can't do that, because if you keep in that zone, like me, I don't have to see what's going on to know that it's going to keep going on. You know, it's nuclear fission. Unless you take the rods out of the water and this stuff burns down, it's going to keep happening. But
Yeah.
as long as you keep pointing it out at the safe place, that look, in a mile, you're going to be experiencing abject hell. So now you can either take the U turn and go the other direction, or you can follow down the hope train, so that way you can join the other people. Because apparently, some people just think, I could just expose myself to it and I could just go up to these people and I can handle. No, 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 no. They know what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
there for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the thing like I said, I had to come to realize. See, jumping out of planes in the military with parachutes is one thing. Going off a cliff with a bunch of idiots is another. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
I agree.
Wow.
because that's as weird as it sounds. That's how I started to really uh, adjust it in my head. If I was with my boys and we were doing practice runs or we were actually going into combat, we have parachutes. We check each other. You know what I'm saying? And then we take that leap because we have the faith. Like I said, knowing that we've been checked, we've checked each other and we've double checked, and now let's get the mission done. Where on the flip side of that, like I said, it would have just been riding in a train that you see the hill, you see the cliffs coming, and instead of getting off the train at the next stop, you want to just keep riding because you hope something's gonna be there to say. And it's a weird analogy, but that's how I had summed it up in my head. And like I said, and it wasn't just the sake of myself, because you have to be able to stop long enough to be introspective, but it's also having the blessing. And I've said this before, being able to call Eisen and talk it out, being able to call you MOT and talk it out. You see what I'm saying? So being introspective and being surrounded by the proper people who can help you take what you're trying to figure out and help you get clarity on it is both of them are equally important. Because if I was doing it by myself, it would have taken me a lot longer to get there, I'm sure. But like I said, the fact that I had, you Eisen, UMOT, Nagone, so on and so forth, Zero, Aegon, the list goes on. That helped me, process it a lot faster, and not just process it, but learn to accept it, deal with it for what it is, and keep it moving. And I think, and to me, that's why I get frustrated when I see a lot of the other people, because they're missing the point of how this is supposed to work. How this space is supposed to work. I am literally a living embodiment of how it's supposed to work, because you guys helped me work through it. You guys helped me get to that space I needed to be able to go to the next level. And hopefully from there, the next level and next level after that. But we're not doing that. Well, they're not doing it for the new people coming in. They're just turning it into something it's just a joke,
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. You good.
And that's where the language thing that I guess I was trying to get to, because like I said, we're talking the same language, but we're saying different things. And of course, like MOT said, it's because they're here for a purpose, and that purpose is not a positive one. At least in comparison to us and what we're trying to do.
I got you. Yeah, makes sense.
And that's what we need to understand.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, man. It was hard for me, because I'm extremely passionate about this space, even though it might not seem like it, but I really am. And when I see fuckery being done to one of us, it really takes me over the edge. And again, I'll say it again. Eisen can confirm this as many times as he's had to talk me off that ledge. Because it takes particular, not particular, but I think I'm not sure, but I think it was you, MOT. I'm not sure. But we had that conversation about older brothers, my age and up, who are just fucking it up, and my desire to just erase them from my misery, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's not that I have a particular hatred for them personally, because I don't know them. My hatred comes from the fact that you're hurting people for no reason other than you think it's fun. It comes from the fact that you sitting here knowing full well what's going on, and if somebody doesn't stop and make the course correction, then it's only going to get worse, as we've seen, and it's going to continue to get worse from here forward as well. But you have an obligation and you have a responsibility to share that knowledge and to use that language that you quote unquote mastered to help the next brother and the next generation and so on and so forth. Because when you don't, I look at that as being just as evil as the people who started this. You're no different. You're no better to me. As a matter of fact, you're just the children of them, whether you're related or not. And I find that wholly offensive, because I don't want to wake up in the morning and I'm just saying this for example, having a young brother like Black Curls tell me about the troubles he got into because somebody in my generation who knew better dragged him into that. I get offended by that. I get offended for a variety of reasons. I get offended because this young brother's life is ruined for their fuckery. I get offended because it's a reflection on me, because that's my generation. I get offended because now I understand why young brothers don't want to listen to people like me, because so many of you have dragged them into that bullshit. So that when I walk in the door, the automatic assumption is I'm just as fucked up as the idiot that came before me. So now my hill is even harder to get people to listen to me or hear what I have to say. Or they doubt it because they think I'm just playing a game because I'm really like the rest of them motherfuckers. It just causes a whole lot of just stirrings in me that just takes me,
Well, I think the thing is, them old niggas, they don't just tell them to follow them. They tell them to trust them now, and that's the mistake. It's one thing to follow someone, that way you can see what they're leaving behind in their wake and what's coming ahead and everything that's going on around. That way you can make a decision for yourself. I'm gonna tell somebody, look, follow me, don't trust me, follow me. That way you can see for yourself what's going to happen.
Right.
And that way you can analyze it yourself and make your own decisions that best suit you.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
that's how it should be.
But these old niggas, nigga, you gotta do it this way right here. Why you want to be different?
and the thing that I want to tell younger brothers, and this comes down to the receipt thing. If you got an older brother, gentleman, whatever you want to call him, telling you to do A, B, C, D, then always ask yourself, why is he asking you to do something he hasn't done? Why is he asking you to be something he hasn't accomplished? What is his motivation for trying to get you to go someplace that he can't achieve? Is it really for your benefit, or is it for you to achieve and then he can feed off of you?
Or better yet, why are they asking you to do the same dumb shit that turned out fucked up for them?
I was just about that.
That was gonna be the next thing. Yeah. And I noticed, and not to be rude, but I noticed MOT when I was saying everything, you were really quiet. And again, we come in bringing it back to the tower. That again, like I said, same language, but we're talking two different things. And yeah, I don't see it changing. Maybe I'm becoming a pessimist. I don't know. I don't see it changing. And I think the more time goes on, the more we're outnumbered, because I have noticed some brothers in this space who started off solid, but you can see them cracking. You can hear it in their voices. You can hear it in the changing of how they're saying things.
That what that means, they didn't start off solid.
No, that's true. No, absolutely, that's true. No, absolutely. But again, still, nonetheless, I'm seeing it. Is the point? And like I said, they're not going to make it. And as we've said, like New has told me, it is what it is, and it's not my job to save somebody else. I mean, it just isn't.
And bringing up New, that his motto pretty much stands undefeated. Of that, what is it? How does it go? Okay, don't what is it? Don't benefit. I'm trying to think of how it goes.
You talk okay. Don't question the benefit of the doubt the benefit, or something
That's
like
it.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I doubt the benefit. Yes, pretty much leads to, I doubt the benefit I'm gonna get from it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Because what you have to do is you have to go into it like you're a detective and you just came up on a homicide. Your first question is, who benefits from it?
Right.
That's the first question.
Right.
This person is dead. Who benefits from this person being dead? And then you start backtracking from there. That's how you got to treat all of it.
Yeah. You have to treat that too with people you're going to allow access to your time as well.
Absolutely.
Who benefits from this motherfucker being around me? Mm-hmm. Am I going to benefit from this shit? Mm-hmm. Are we both going to benefit from it, or are they the only one benefiting from it?
Yeah, because like I said, that's one of the reasons you haven't seen me in chats or on panels like I used to, because I had to ask myself, who is, not just who, but what is the benefit? Because the who would have been anybody who wants to figure out how to get back on track.
Right.
The what is how to implement it. Now I've been on panels and I've explained, everything from my relationships to dealing with family to business ideas and execution and all that good stuff. Okay, I've done my part. There's nothing left to say. What you do with that is on you. Especially when you sit and you think about this, and I mean seriously think about it. I've got 30 plus years experience. MOT's got 20 to 30 years experience himself. Zero's got at least 15. Okay. Morning Blue's got at least 10. So we're already coming up on 100 years of experience that myself and those gentlemen I just mentioned have given you for free. We've explained to you how to avoid the pitfalls we went through, so you don't have to do it. And instead of going out and focusing, we still have people who are sitting around just wanting to be on panels. Again, that's not on us. That's on them. Mm-hmm. We explained to them the language. We explained to them the techniques. Again, what they do, that's on them. But I have no desire to constantly spend 2-3 days a week being on 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hour panels saying the same thing over and over again. Because here's the thing. Nobody in this motherfucker is children. Nobody.
I don't know.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
When you hear and see these ones, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I don't know. I might have to disagree with that. But now, because I might disagree with that, I'm gonna say this though. Fuck them kids.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So here's the thing people don't get is that, and I learned this like the first thing that I had to investigate. It was a murder suicide, and when you go into one of those things, it's an eerie type of quiet.
Yes, it is.
And you're going to see things that you don't want to see, and that you have to catalog in detail. and he came in and pulled the guy aside. It was like, you're a brilliant guy, but maybe this is way too close for you to actually be doing these type of work, and you need to be out there in the streets, because when it comes time for you not to be on the streets, this is where the real work is at. And it's like, look, it's hard to lose. I'm sorry. It's very easy to lose perspective behind the pile of bodies that you know that are piling up. Okay, somebody got some crackling noises and shit.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh dang! I can mute up just in case it's me.
It stopped.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that that's the way it is. It's like you have to be cut out to talk about this stuff without being compromised. Like me, I can't be compromised. I'm in a position where I can't be compromised. I don't need the woman's opinion. I don't need the nigga's opinion, and I don't give a fuck about the kids. So I don't give a fuck about the entire process, and I'm still going to take the most right point between all that. Some people, they're compromised by one of the three, but they still want to be part of the conversation. And it doesn't take that long during the conversation for you to step on one of their third rails. But what about the women? But what about the kids? But what about these dudes' desire to be able to work? It's like...
and MOT, out of all of them that are the most compromised, nine times out of 10, it's them daughter niggas, as Zero said.
Yep.
Daughter niggas are finished, man.
The who?
Daughter niggas.
What is that?
Dads, with the exception of yourself. Dads who got girls.
Oh, that should make you even more against it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that. Yeah, no, I'm just saying them dudes are even them dudes are finished.
Oh, they never gonna want to talk to me then.
But daughter niggas should be just like me, but they're just like the people who they want to say because they want one of these dudes.
They're male feminists. Yeah,
take the daughters. Yeah, seriously.
Well, it's interesting because again with me, I've got 4. I already cut out 2, and the other 2 have been warned. So.
But they ain't willing to do that.
Wow.
They ain't
it's funny because again, going to me and following scriptural concepts. Hey, Abraham wasn't above having to take out Isaac, so in my mind, mine don't have much of a chance either. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
I'm not sure if I said that right.
No, I get you. The only difference was that Isaac wasn't these compromised broads. That's the only difference. But you got daughter niggas not willing to cut off compromised hoes that are their kids.
Yeah.
Because cutting off mine, my older 2. Took away a lot, not just them, but it took away my grandchildren as well. But this is the nature of things and how it's got to be. We just can't have it. And if you want to raise my grandchildren to be in the same capacity and mentality as you, then trust and believe when they get old enough and they come looking for me, they're going to get the same response. And people are going to say that's fucked up. But look, my first priority is to save myself.
Yep.
I cannot be compromised on that. My survival is paramount. If I do not take care of me, how do you expect me to be around to take care of you? And that's old school shit. That ain't nothing new. I'm saying. We've heard.
I'm gonna have a guest on my show next Sunday. Who I had to help realize, fuck your kids and fuck this family. Yep. But there's a specific reason why, and a lot of people are not gonna like his stories. Now this motherfucker's making $200,000-$300,000 a year, safer than the motherfucker. But he was still a 6-figure dude where he was. But he was a 6-figure dude worrying about women and children. I'm like, you know what? Try this on for size. And next thing you know, he started treating them all like bitches who was not worthy, and his whole life changed.
Yeah, and you have to take that, and like Eisen and I have talked about before, you have to take that to its ultimate conclusion. That means it has to go all the way back to your mother. She has to be treated the same way. Because that's one of the arguments I've had with a lot of women. Because that's the first thing they come out of their mouth with. Well, you wouldn't treat your mother like that. Call her and check.
Shit.
I mean, that's what I tell them. He's like, oh, you wouldn't treat your mother like that. Call her and check.
Hey, that's how you know how strong the dude is, because I said it on Mr. Fantastic's panel too before, where dudes kept talking about, well, I know such and such women like this, and I said, look, here it is, Mr. Fantastic. I'm gonna say what these niggas don't want to admit. Nobody wants to admit that they mama were busting it open. They aunties, they were busting it open for somebody before they came in.
Yeah.
Before they came in this world, your mama was busting open for somebody. And over half of you, your mama still is.
Yeah. And if you stop long enough to think about it, and again, you look at it like a detective, who benefits? Here's my math. If I was born and my sister came along immediately a year after, and we have two different fathers, then my mom was busting it open for anybody who would give her a free cheddar meal. In the story,
and not only
I mean, and that's facts. You can't ignore that. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but that's facts.
Agreed. And you got to think, man. A lot of these guys here in this space, man. Look, hey, the milkman might be their daddy. Hey, soul provider, when your daddy the milkman, dog? Let me quit joking.
but that's the thing. You have to come to that understanding, and that's why like I said, I've had that conversation. You wouldn't talk to your mother. You wouldn't do that with your mother. I'm like, yo, call her and check.
Had to be beta tested on somebody.
Well, yeah, and because I had a conversation a couple of times, and I'm like, you are aware that this is not going to end well for you, and they're like, well, that doesn't mean anything. It means everything. I cut my mother, my sister, and every other female relative off over a decade ago. Now, if the woman who pushed me out of her pussy cannot be saved, what makes you think you can? I mean, you got to keep this in perspective here, man.
Hey, watch this. I'm gonna tell you the perspective.
Well, I'm different.
Hey, watch this. No, it's not just that. This is what they thinking, but they won't only say the other thing they thinking, but won't say. Your mama can't give it to you like I can.
Oh, I've heard that before.
I'm telling you, man.
I've heard that before. I've actually had somebody say that before. Well, what you would do with me, you wouldn't do with your mother. Something like that. And I'm like, you don't know what I was doing when I was inside of her before she pushed me on. Then they look at me like, well, damn. So I'm just being a smart ass because you're being a smart ass. but
that's how their mind functions.
Yeah.
So.
But like I said, those that father daughter thing, man, that means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Because at the end of the day, the same thing applies to the girls as it does to the boys. Once you reach a certain age, your ass need to push up out of here. Whether you want to go out there and be a quote unquote independent woman, or you want to do the proper thing, so to speak, and go get married. But you under the same rules that the boy is. The boy might get pushed harder, but you are going to get pushed.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing with my two youngest daughters. When we talk and well, when you get old, we'll take care of you. I'm like, no. No. And they're like, why not? I said, one, I'm a man. I don't need that. Number two, with all due respect, you're women. They're like, what does that mean? I said, you'll sign on to take care of somebody because you think it's the right thing to do, but it won't take long before you start to resent the fact that you have to take care of somebody. And before I know it, you're smothering me with a pillow to get the money. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fact. That's fact. They're quick to change, and it don't take long. It doesn't take long at all. So why would
circumstances change? So do them, and they don't understand that. They keep thinking that. I mean, like their ability to survive and their ability to go to violence is far outpaces that of a man.
Yeah, I mean,
far outpaces.
You got to think that throughout the history of earthly civilizations, the women willingly gave themselves up to the invading army. So to save themselves. I mean, it just is what it is. So so somebody that's like that, it's foolish to actually think that you can have a brotherhood, so to speak, with them, as You know, Ike has
Sure.
talked about, you know, in his streams plenty of times. You know,
Yeah.
you can't have a brotherhood with something like that. You just can't.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying about the not just about the language, but a shift in mentality and interpretation as well. And you can see it today how they're trying to change words to mean something different than what they originally were. I mean, you can see they know language is the key. You know, so I mean, it's a foolish thing, but it's something that has to be. And again, it doesn't make a difference, whether you look at it from a scriptural perspective or secular. It has to be from a scriptural perspective. These things must come to be to get where we need to get. From a secular perspective, these things must be because it must be torn down and destroyed so we can get on to move into building the next new thing. Either way you look at it, it's going to come to that. And it cannot be avoided. So they don't. I guess that's why I avoid all those other shows and content creators that you guys talk about a lot, because I know I am vehemently against anything they have to say or do. And me being on any of their panels or in their chat is not going to go over well. It's not going to go over well at all.
Lord's gonna blow up on in the chat.
Well, I mean, but
no, you good.
But it's one of those things. Like I've said before, look, if you don't like me, I'm okay with that,
right?
And I'll leave. But the question is if I know you don't like me, why would I still continue to be there? That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I got you there. No, that makes perfect sense.
And,
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know, for me, I'm like Zero in the aspect of that. Me going over there, it allows me to see in real time who these compromised dudes really are, because they like you were talking about earlier about guys cracking from their message general. No, they weren't cracking. They now are exposing themselves once you got women on the panel and around, talking to them in soft nigga voice. So now
right.
you go see what they really about.
Right. No, and I get that. I guess for me, I consider myself blessed, lucky, whatever phrase you want to use. I don't have to go through the pain of it because you guys end up telling me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that's the thing. That's the thing for you. For you, you got us to let you know. Oh yeah, you don't. We can be pretty much ruckus for you. Hey, don't trust them new niggas over there, Lawrence.
Exactly.
Don't trust them over there.
And not to be funny, but I come to rely on that. I really do. I really do. That's I mean, there's channels you've sent me to. There's people MOT and I have talked about that should not be listened to. And again, that's what a brotherhood is supposed to do. You're supposed to guide each other, watch out for each other, keep an idiot from the outside coming in, busting up the flow or distracting you from what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then that's why I like when Liam or Timothy or Black Curls and they come into space or they come up on the panel and stuff like that, because I like hearing from young brothers to understand that they get it. It's not a total waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think the other thing too, man, there was another reason why I wanted to do this channel, to have some pragmatic information that the codes and the instructions that are lined out within these stories of the Bible, that they can actually take and follow for themselves. They can use them, because I mean, if you can't apply it to your real life, your everyday life, what good is it? That's why I don't focus on all the mystical stuff. I ain't got no answer for none of that. Yeah. I want to focus on the practical stuff that I can actually apply to my life, and someone actually can too. And I think that's that I pointed out the other day in Zero's chat. That's the reason why you and I can have these conversations with MOT and Zero and others like that, because we can actually focus and admit to the pragmatical stuff, and the other stuff that that the magical stuff, the mystical stuff, I'm like, hey, look, I don't know nothing about that. I don't even worry about trying to focus on that.
Yeah.
I'm worried
Yeah.
about trying to focus on the stuff that I could actually do and control.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and look, and here's the thing, even with some of this, even with some of the mystical stuff that I may even remotely subscribe to,
Okay.
but it goes back to what you said before. It's the fact you and I can sit down and realize that if we remove the emotional need to be right or to try to prove something that doesn't need to be proven, is why we can talk to Zero. It's why we can talk to MOT. It's why we can talk to Nagone. It's why we can talk to Mike V, because we know that there are times and places for everything, and when something needs to be turned on or turned off, you know. And then and here's something else. Here's something else too that I think is the difference between me and you and a lot of other people. When we talk to MOT and Zero, we don't come from the point of view that they have no idea what we're talking about,
or the
you see
or
what
we
I'm
just
saying?
in general don't come from a self-righteous
Exactly.
You know, like
Exactly.
you know, like I'm Jesus' brother on his daddy's side. You know,
Exactly. You know, and to walk into a conversation with either one of them, and I'm sorry, MOT, I don't mean to talk about you in the third person. I'm sorry. But it's again, it's that situation where I don't walk into it with the assumption they don't know what I know.
Right, true.
Because I've actually seen that.
Yeah.
I've actually seen where the assumption is that, okay, you know, Zero don't believe in the sky genie. That does not mean he doesn't know the book you're talking about. It doesn't mean he hasn't read it. It doesn't mean he hasn't lived it. It doesn't mean he hasn't cross-referenced it with a whole bunch of other books in history.
Yeah.
But people have a tendency.
And further, he don't understand it because I've read all the same books too.
That's the point I was getting to. But most people, when they come into it with either one of you, they come from that position. Eisen and I don't do that.
Yeah, and you know, whenever he uses the whole Sky Genie statement, I understand exactly what he's alluding to by it.
Why are you doing the Aladdin thing?
Yeah, because of the simple fact that's exactly how these lazy people treat it. It's easy to see, man. It's exactly how these lazy people treat it.
A la carte, 3 wishes of ignorance. Yeah, that's what they do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why the first time he said it, I told him point blank, I do not disagree. I do not disagree.
And that's why, you know, he led me to that, you know, him saying it made me create my content video, you know, on God is not a genie, you know.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good stream. That was a good stream. I remember that. That was a very good stream. but yeah, it's always that wish factor. Yeah. It's and you know, it's that wish factor. It's reinterpreting things to be different than what it actually says, you know, and the list just goes on and on.
I think it's like Man of Tomorrow. I think it was off in the one-on-one he did with Ike, where he pointed out what it is a wanting of change without actual evolving.
Yeah,
and evolving from the person's character standpoint and their value and code standpoint.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A changing of circumstances. But go ahead, MOT.
Yeah. What people want is a change that they don't have to sacrifice for, but they definitely gonna benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't recognize is you're not just going to monkey branch over into a new society. And like a lot of people think that.
They do.
No, they're going to wake up one day. No, they're going to see this, you know, obstacle course that they're going to swing from fuckery to abject lifestyle that they always wanted with no work. And it's like, it don't work that way. And think about it. Any person who's been rewarded with a man or even a woman that they don't deserve without personal development, it never ends up working, no
Nope.
matter what it is.
Never. Never. But that goes back to the old saying: if you didn't earn it, you ain't got no respect for it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So it's like everybody is being, I call it pre-treated,
Yeah.
to think that they're going to appreciate something that they never had respect for at no point in time in history. And I'm like, okay, you're not gonna try that on me, but but yeah, okay, yeah, but that's the way that works. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand is that you know what you've been preparing for, even if it's nothing. You know.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. They know. They know what they're doing. They know what the end result is going to be. Um, it's not even a question of them hoping to be part of a new society. It's them demanding to be part of a new
They
society.
feel entitled to it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. They feel entitled to it. You know, it's no different. And we got three or four different generations on this panel, right? And I'm pretty sure when I say this, each generation has heard it. Just because we look alike does not make me your brother.
All skin folk ain't kin folk.
Oh, I done said it.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
Just because we look alike don't mean I got to give you my shit and get and save the race. You understand? Because I used to have that conversation with a lot of people I grew up with. You know, as years went on and we got older and we would run into each other, like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I see you successful in the whole 9 yards, man. I got a couple ideas, like I can't help you. You know, like,
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, but
and
I
like,
figured it out though, Lawrence.
and they're like, for real? I said, look, this is how I see it. You spent every waking day of my life as a child growing up, beating me up, calling me names, making fun of me because I was doing the right fucking thing. And now that I've achieved my goals and I'm still going forward progressively, now you think that somehow the slate's been washed clean just because we're older and you get a free pass. That's not how that works.
Yeah. I mean, I think I figured it out. So, and I told somebody this, and they kind of had them to stand back. And I told them, you want me to create something indestructible, so that way you can try to destroy it and not be successful at it.
Mm.
Yeah, I see
No,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's like, look, I'm not gonna create nigga-proof things to just bring your ass around and see if you can destroy the shit. I could just leave you out of the shit and build it with regular equipment.
Yeah,
That works.
yeah. I will take the chance of you being outside my door screaming and crying and begging to get in than to allow you to come in with your fuckery. I'll put up with the noise. Seriously, I'll put up with the noise.
If anything,
Yeah.
just call the authorities on them while they're outside screaming at you. Like, got this idiot on my property right now. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Look here, where I'm going and what I'm planning to do, there'll probably be a bear before I get a fucking call.
As soon as you call him up, like, so, is he in pieces? Is he all together?
Yep.
Let us know what type of equipment we're gonna have to bring to squeegee this person up off the property.
Yeah, see a cop like, well, did you warn him? I told him, shh. He wouldn't listen.
Oh, no, sir. Well. Here's the tape in 4K resolution, 4 different angles. There you go.
Yep. But yeah, they just like Black Curl says, man, it's just an automatic sense of entitlement that just because we look the same or we come from the same place, and like I said, it's fascinating to me. You tell me we all run in the same race, but you spent your entire life knowing me, trying to trip me, just because you thought it was funny. Not even because you had any real motivation behind it. They do it.
No real benefit.
Yeah, no real benefit. You do it because I'm different. That's your answer? Well, you were a nerd. That's your answer? Well, you didn't hang out with us. That's your answer? I mean, don't get me wrong. We do stupid shit as kids, but there's a limit to even that stupidity.
It's basically the equivalent of, hey, look, we don't like your kind around here.
But yeah, it's what. See, you're laughing, but
Yeah, I know it's serious though.
But what they did to me and to us or whoever it applies
Yeah.
to is no different than if a black family moved into an all white community in the '60s. It was the same shit.
Yes.
You fucked with me just because I was different than you. And then when you see that I'm cool and I got possibilities, now all of a sudden you want to be down with me because you want to ride in the wagon. No.
We'll ride on the coattail.
I like to
Yeah.
add to your point, Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because you said we're in the same race. I gotta say, no, they're not in the same race because they did not have the same goals as you, and they were not going in the same directions as you. Because when you're in the actual race, you have the same finish line you're going to.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That was solid. You're
Man.
right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right, Black Curls.
Correct.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, because different cultural outlooks is going to have different cultural outcomes. That's
Right.
the way it is. Yeah.
Right.
Agree.
You know, it's just growing up in one of the worst hoods in Brooklyn during the late '60s and '70s and '80s. It was brutal. And like I said, I don't think I'm sharing any story more unique than anybody else. I don't. But like I said, when you see what was going on around you and you make a conscious choice to be contrary to that, that's either one of two things. It's either an ability to look deep inside yourself and be introspective enough to see the fuckery for what it is, or you've been divinely touched. Your choice on which one you want. But either way, it gets you out of there. And like I said, everybody else who spent all their years making it difficult for you want to come back later. You know?
I say, why can't it be both? To be able to be touched in a way to see, hey, look, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And then to understand, hey, look, no, I don't want no parts of this shit.
Yeah. No, it can be both. It absolutely could be both. It could be both. I put it that way because of everybody's particular.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah,
but it could be both. Absolutely.
And I would just say, you know, whether you want to call it divinely touched or just having a sense of to know, hey, look, something is. It's just having something within you to know, hey, look, something is fucked up with all this.
Yeah. And like I said, man, I think for those of us who have done that,
Mm-hmm.
or those of us who've been blessed to have people who showed us that, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, there'll be smoke, there'll be rubble, but we'll still be standing.
Cool. Yeah.
And like anything else, the masses on both sides, male and female, will be coming to us, you know, and it'll be a funny thing because the guys will suddenly be like, well, I always believed in you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I knew you was gonna make it. You know what I'm saying, son? And you know, so and when you got there, you know what I'm saying, I was gonna come help you, and I was gonna help you finish building it, and yada yada yada. And the response should be simple and straight to the point. You weren't there for my struggles, so don't plan to be here for the success.
Hey, look,
and then the women will fall where in the category probably of deciding they want to be submissive now, knowing full well it's just a chameleon act until they're long enough to get in. And because you and I talked about that before, MOT, a lot of brothers think that because the system goes down or it falls in on itself, that things are going to change. Mm-hmm. They are still going to be the same.
It will temporarily, but guess what happens when things return back to normal?
Right.
So
right.
does she.
Exactly. because at the end of the day, they will be who they are.
Right. And basically what you explained there, that's a moment right there where what you have to do is to decide to be Shawn Michaels and Brutus the Beefcake's Barbershop and super kick Marty Jannetty through that window.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you're finished, go into that Henry Cavill mode. Go straight into that Henry Cavill mode. Just do your work, have your fun, and call it a day.
Yeah, that's where you got to turn on. Like, I'm tired of you riding my coattail. So yeah,
But like I said, MOT and I talked about that for a minute. But yeah, and I've talked to them. A lot of brothers really think that's how that's going to happen. They really do. They really think that when it gets bad, the women are going to go back to being in line and all that good stuff. And I'm like, you're crazy. You are crazy. There's no way. There's no way.
The negotiation table is a cutting board. All you have to do is get this nice and sliced up on the cutting board, and like that's the negotiation table.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is put some legs on it, and put some sprinkles around it, and welcome home. Yeah,
Mhm.
but that's what it is with.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's why I found that clickbait title that Sister George and them had for today. That shit was so damn funny, man. Because that's exactly what it was. Like MOT said, the
All
cutting
the
board.
ladies smiling and shit. I'm like,
That was the cutting board to get them niggas on there.
oh man.
And I ain't gonna lie, MOT. I was hoping that they was gonna open up the panel that way you could see who exactly was compromised that was gonna jump up on her and excuse all the bullshit.
They would have created a third ocean. Like they would have created so much thirst, it would have filled up the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
like,
man.
please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yes, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted it because I wanted to expose more who these niggas are.
I didn't go over there specifically because I probably would have blocked every. I mean, if they were too happy, they could not come back to my channel.
I wanted for it to expose because Zero was like, he's like, man, I said, yeah, I had to leave. I had to get stuff ready for my old channel. I said, but I was wanting to see who was gonna do it. I want to see who was gonna excuse.
Especially with Danica Marie up there. Oh God.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Really to me, hey, I ain't put in the chat. I said, we gonna see who lining up to shoot they shot on this one.
Oh
man. Wow.
Them dudes are like a 3-point contest, man.
Hey, they setting up on the mountaintops. lining up with that doggone sniper rifle.
Oh, yeah.
Where my target at? There it is, dirty.
Wow. Yeah, I'm okay not visiting the stuff.
I know it. But like I said, I want to know who they are because you gonna see the dudes who are gonna pull the dodgeball. You gonna know who they are.
The only person that was missing was like Irene Yvette. Like if they would have had Irene Yvette up there too, that would have been perfect.
So
that would have been great.
So we're talking about an all-female panel.
Yeah, that's what they had. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the guys coming in trying to shoot their shot. Okay.
No, they didn't open up the panel for it because somebody you're gonna have two kinds. You might get somebody that's gonna give some pushback every now and then, but it's only a small percentage that's gonna go up there and do that. But the majority is gonna fall into two things. One, either gonna shoot their shot, or the other one, that's the one you gonna see that we call the bitch ass nigga that's gonna acquiesce to it and be like, we know it's all good. Just come on back. Just come on back.
Okay. I don't.
And that's who you gonna find out.
Yeah.
Who you gotta cut off.
Yep. And the second dude, Eisen, second dude is gonna be the dude asking all the dumbass questions to keep the conversation going for 16,000 hours. That's gonna be the next dude.
Or he's going. Or not only will he do that, he'll be giving excuses from some book as to why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
And then,
are you serious?
I'm not lying. I've seen it in real time. And then what happened is
justifiable.
Oh dang!
So wait, I'm assuming the book is that Hotep stuff.
It probably some of that stuff, all that emotional bull crap. And then And then what it'll do is this right here. This is the other thing you'll see. When they turn like the snake in that old Indian parable and bite the shit out of them.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
It's always a great part.
Wow.
It's always,
Okay.
it gets to be a teaching tool for all the young dudes that think that these bras actually care.
I know. Yeah.
It
Or
gets to be a
has
teaching tool.
changed.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, MOT. What'd you say?
I said, or has changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the only thing they're doing is an end zone celebration.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
end zone celebration. We won. Now, who's gonna help us celebrate? Let's open the panel up.
Yes, that's exactly it. Oh, dang.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh man.
oh man.
That's wow.
It's the champion crowning ceremony. That's what, that's what it. They got them suckers to roll the trophy out there, and drop the confetti, and praise them on how great they are. And
Wow. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Again, I
Yes.
don't listen to female channels or streams.
Yeah.
Except on very, very rare occasions when there's something that needs to be seen, like you, Eisen, you'll tell me to check out something. I think I watched one from Melody, and I think I watched two or three from Jessica. And outside of that, that's
Right.
it. I haven't. I haven't gone back. I have no interest in it, and for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
Again, whether I'm cool or not cool is irrelevant.
Right.
I don't value anything a woman has to say. And I'm being honest about it. I don't. There's nothing they're going to be able to teach me that I either A, haven't done already, B, can't figure out on my own, and C, I'm a man. It's never going to be from the same perspective in the story.
Right.
The other thing is listening to the people, both male and female. This is both sides on those panels. Oh my God. I'm sometimes I sit there and I'm like, shoot me now. Just end it.
Lawrence, you have to buy a thirst translator. You have to be able to put on thirst canceling headphones to actually listen to what you're actually listening to.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me where to go buy some or how to make it.
Hey, MOT, you saying he need that bitch and knees translator for him?
Oh yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I do understand some of it. It's just that it makes my head hurt. I mean, literally, it gives me a headache, and I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. Yeah. It's and this may have something to do with what Eisen said before about being older and being in a different headspace. Yeah. I think I'm just and just no offense to any of you guys, it's not. It's just I'm just too old for it now. I just don't want to. Because everything I'm hearing and seeing, I've watched for 54 years in the real world.
and to that point, like you said, you're older, and don't get me wrong. There's some of them. Look, I'll tap out on too quick. Don't get me wrong. I can't do it. But you're right. You're at a point where you even stated before that you've got more years behind you than you do ahead of you. So yes, you're at a completely different point than a lot of guys.
Yeah. Because it's something before he passed away. My adoptive father had told me a long time ago. He said, "You're gonna notice when you hit 40, you're gonna start every year successfully caring less and less about what other people think." Yeah. And he wasn't lying. He was not lying.
But dang, that must mean I must have been born an old man.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Because, like I said, with my
Some people are born with less hourglass or fucks than everybody else.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, because like I said, when I got adopted, like I said, I was 14, 15. And he used to have talks with me where, he both of them actually, where you're an old soul, you're older than what you really act, and etc. and so on. And I remember one time we went out for lunch together because he used to do that with me a lot. We would just go out to lunch and just have a son and dad day, and he would tell me, you're on point. You're heading in the right direction. It's just that what you went through prior to coming to us threw you off. And there's a lot of stuff you got to shake off, and you got to get out of your system in order to finish, heading in the direction or the path that I wanted to be on. And he was right. And even to this day, I still struggle with it. I mean, it's part of who I am. It was my formative years. So a lot of that fuckery is in my DNA, and it's a fight every day, and that's one of the things I try to tell young brothers. You don't have to be like me, but make no mistake, this is something you'll be dealing with every day for the rest of your life, trying to fight it and overcome it, because we've just been so ingrained by single mothers and fuckery from sisters and aunts and stuff like that from our
just aunts. The worst part, the women, the worst part is the old niggas.
Yeah. But either way, both of them. But the thing is that you talking about it being ingrained in you from the moment you breathe life until the moment you figure out this is not right. Now, for some people, I got lucky. I got adopted at 14. Some people don't figure it out till 18. Some people don't figure it out till 30, 40. Because even with being adopted, and I've said this before, the full scope of it didn't truly hit me, and I became fully, completely aware till I would say maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And mind you, I had already cut off my mother and the rest of them, so I was going through the process about 5, 6 years prior to that. But the full impact of it didn't hit me till about 5 years ago, and then that's when I started going in the direction that I'm in now. And even that is still a battle, because I still try to overcome certain reflex actions that I've learned growing up. So it's a constant struggle. At least for me, it's a constant struggle. That's why I was saying I'm blessed to have you guys around, because like I said, there are times when okay, this is not working. I'm not getting it right. I'm not something like, yo, MOT, you got a minute? Right. And you'd be like, yo, what's up? Eisen, yo, man, I need to talk. You find the positive brothers, and you make sure you connect with them, and you make sure that the same way they're there for you, you be there for them, and build that bridge. Because like I said before, there aren't many of us. So
that's an understatement.
Yeah, what I'm saying? There's not many of us, so you can't, you can't lose that opportunity. Is that you, Black Girls?
No, I think
it's MOT. Okay.
But yeah, because for us younger dudes, because here's my line of thinking with these old niggas when they try to get you to do something. They're like, oh, you should deal with this broad. I'm like, okay, what happened to you when you were dealing with these type of broads? Oh, okay, I got put on child support, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, so why the hell should I do what you did if I don't want to be put through that bullshit? That's my line of thinking. They can't really answer that. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. And I even talk about it with some of the younger dudes in this space privately, like Liam or the Unspecialist. Like, we're just seeing this go on and on, the chameleons, like how these dudes who are on the breakdown trying to negotiate and sacrifice themselves. This is just very pathetic right now with these old niggas.
Well, okay, and I'm gonna say something. Speaking as one of those old niggas, this is my analysis of what's going on. Okay, those older niggas are acting like older hoes. they're not trying to teach you. They're trying to be in competition with you on something that they should have bowed out of a long time ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because you got 60, 70-year-old men trying to pick up 21-year-old women. Nigga, that's out of your field of study right now. You've passed that. But they're in direct competition with you. The same way older hoes are in competition with younger hoes on trying to quote unquote catch a good man. It's the same thing.
As a summary for this, they're just bitches with dicks.
Well, yeah.
And not only that, I mean, you got to think, others came out with it too, but Marvin Cease came out with that song, I Mr. Jody. And
yeah.
And the man called the phone and said, he's the one that paid for the car he ride, that Marvin Cease riding in and all them clothes. Look, the point is, them old niggas want you to be that. They want you to pay for their lifestyle too.
Yeah. And it's so damn weird to watch when I see a 20-something-year-old brother and then a 60, 70-year-old brother, and they're the young brother don't give a damn, but the older brother is literally competing, chasing the same piece of ass in front of them. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. It's weird as hell to watch. A young, brother's like, yo, how you doing, sweetie? You know what I'm saying? You got a minute of your time, or whatever the hustle game is for the word, how game or whatever we call it. But to watch an older brother try to do that with a 19-year-old girl it's beyond cringy. It's just the weirdest thing to watch.
Hey, watch this. It's even funnier when that shit actually works.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. I have seen this shit in real time. Where
I've only seen it happen once, and that only happened because, of course, as usual, he's dropping money on her.
I seen it happen in real time where a dude that's 70 dropping to a chick that's in her 20s, maybe early 30s, and they coming by later. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the only time I've seen it actually work is, like I said, if they're dropping money on her or he's lending her car and yada 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 yada, because she'll give him a quick hand job and she'll get the car. But regardless of what the end result is, like I said, it's just weird to watch it in play.
And it's also weird when they see you, being happy somewhere else. Like if you go foreign, they're like, "What the fuck? Why is he getting pussy? Why is he here somewhere where we're just struggling and all that other bullshit?"
Because a lot of older brothers, and I saw this when I was younger. My uncles and them used to mess with me a lot because they always, what was it he used to say? I always notice, man, everywhere you go, man, white chicks are checking you out, man. They all into you. And I'm like, yeah, so, and then I had to come to the realization that each generation has a problem with the one that came after. So they're upset that we can date white women when it was off limits to them, the generation prior. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And not to be funny, but I've heard them say that out loud.
Hey, you know what?
And then the generation after them is upset with the next generation for something else, whether it be Asians or whatever. It's like you're upset because you can't quote unquote hunt the same type of pussy than the current generation, when you fail to realize that you're too old to be doing that shit now anyway.
And the funny thing is, man, to be honest, it ain't like that stuff was new in the sense of that, like another generation was the first to do it. It was happening in smaller numbers, but and in secret, but it was going on. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. It's just that, hey, look, you didn't have what it was to get looked at. It is what it is.
And then it all goes back to pussy. The end of
it. Exactly. It's E-Man. Yeah.
E-Man just put it in there too. Yeah, he sure did.
Zero is right.
Mm-hmm.
It's undefeated. It's undefeated.
Sad as hell, but it's true. It's undefeated.
It's undefeated.
But like I said, it's just It's man, it's just cringy as hell. I mean, it just really is.
I
And
guess.
I've got a lot of brothers um, that I used to talk to in the same age bracket as me. Man, I would see them like outside, like talking to like a 16-year-old girl coming back from school. Man, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, yo?
Hey Lawrence, man, maybe MOT agree or not, but being in the South here, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's not even cringy to me. It's so regular. I
Yeah.
mean, seeing it, it's like breathing air.
Yeah.
It's not even cringy.
Yeah, because
It's just that I'm gonna be honest. Only thing I know to say is, it's expected from these old colored ass niggas and these colored bras for this stuff to be going on. I don't expect anything any different.
Yeah, because I remember having that conversation with somebody, and they said something about she was 15, I think. I think she was 15, and Lawrence and I was just because Lawrence owned the pharmacy in the neighborhood, so we were in the pharmacy, and we stepped outside real quick for a break, and we saw them checking out a 15-year-old girl walking by, who Lawrence knew her parents, and they trying to kick it to her, and we're looking at her like, yo, man, she's 15. Say, yo, she had a baby last year, and Lawrence is like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And he looked up and he said, yo, man, when she has a baby, that ain't no child no more. That's a woman. She can get it. I'm like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me, dude.
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
And this is a dude who was older than us at the time. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. You got to give me. Oh, we finished. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. We finished, man.
Yeah. I mean, but they look for them as women because they're looking for breeding animals, man. Like they're looking for women who have no other purpose but be breeding animals after they've been fucking broken past a certain point. This is why when people say they use game, like, nah, man, you use game on women that ain't got no future.
Yep.
You can't use game on a woman who has a fucking future.
That's true.
Nah.
That is true. That's crazy. I remember when he said that shit, man. That really like fucked me up for a couple of days to hear him say that. And then when I pass it on to other brothers are like, well, yeah, he's right. I was like, no, he's not.
And the funny part to what MOT was talking about, them old niggas want to shame younger brothers whenever when they're not fooling with the typical colored woman. It's like, oh, you going that way just because a sister ain't gonna deal with that. And my whole response is, why should I feel like I got to deal with that broad?
Well, yeah, like I said,
I feel like I got it. She's the one. It's a privilege for her to have any moment of my time.
And that's why back in the day, man, I dated whatever. It didn't, her color, her race, none of that shit mattered to me. I was just going for whoever gave me the least problems. I mean, that was my only focus.
Yep.
That was my only focus, because at the end of the day, pussy's still gonna be fucked the same way. Nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna put her missionary. I'm gonna put her doggy. I'm gonna bend her over. She's gonna get fucked the same no matter what race she is. So it's irrelevant about what type of pussy. The key is who's gonna give me the least trouble. That's it.
You sound like a traitor, Lawrence.
I'm okay with that.
But your mama black though, man.
Yeah, how'd that work out for me?
You can't leave your sisters behind like
no, dude. I gave you the exact answer that one of them asked me when they said, well, your mom is black. That's the answer I gave them. Yeah, how did that work out for me?
I had somebody say something about your sister. I said my sister dead. I said, and even if she wasn't, the hell with her too.
Yeah, all of them. All of them. Yeah.
Yeah, what's ridiculous is when they say your mama black, it's like they want to promote this Oedipus complex with black boys with their moms. It's so disgusting to me.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And not only are they promoting it, but they're instilling it, because that's why you see women who have boys talk about, this is my boo, this is my man of the house, yada yada. She's transplanting the feeling she had for the dude she couldn't keep onto him to keep him. So he could, because here's the thing, black women especially, talk all the time about finding a good man. They don't want to find a good man. They want to build a man. There's a difference. And they want to build that man to the specifications and targets of what they perceive to be the proper way to be one. In other words, they want bitch ass niggas.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, like, here's what they want. They want to turn Dracula into Fabio. Like that's what they want.
and into a loyal Fabio too. At that.
Yeah.
That was
loyal, least trained Fabio.
That was a crazy ass analogy. That was a crazy ass analogy.
And I can't do nothing but laugh at that. That made me forget what I was gonna say.
You did. That's why I paused. I lost my thought when he said that. Dracula to Fabio. That's a crazy ass analogy. But
that's too funny.
But again, like I've said before, everything from here on out, well, even before now, but the fact of the matter is that everything from here on out, it's nobody's fault but men. Period.
Yeah, it is.
Period. And
application of choice. The application of choice.
Yep. And I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that to the day I die. And I'm being honest about that. Because like I said, you know everything that needs to be known. You've seen everything that needs to be seen. From here on out, it's all on you. You can't say you didn't know. You can't say you couldn't have made a different choice. You can't say you couldn't have chosen another path. This is all on men now. That's one of the reasons why I talk about not sitting on panels and spending hours talking about bitches, because there's no point anymore. I'm not trying to diminish anybody's need to have the conversation. I'm just saying that in the full scheme of things, there's no weight to it anymore. There's no bearing. We're picking at bones now.
No, there is a need for them niggas, man, just to be in the presence, to talk to the bitch.
Well, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about.
But you gotta.
You're right. Hey, look, I'm talking about us.
Watch this, Lawrence. You still gotta recognize how many still can't fight that desire too.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
true. That is true.
I gotta talk to evil. I gotta be evil. You know what? Here, snaky, you're gonna spine.
I know what I was gonna say now. On that point about pretty much them indoctrinating us into being the dude that's gonna acquiesce to them. What it is, no, they're strapping you down and force feeding that bullshit into your mouth since birth. That's what they're force feeding you at every turn. Like, acquiesce to the bitch.
Yeah, because
you gotta serve the bitch.
Yeah, because the ultimate goal for them, well, not ultimate, but one of the ultimate goals is, okay, so I got a dude I can strap on a fake dildo and just do him. I mean, this is what it's leading to. And I know women who get off on that.
That's why when women tell me about their degrees, that's what I hear. She's telling me the color, the texture of the dildo that she's now going to use in place of my dick. That's what I hear when a woman talks about how much money she makes and productivity. I'm like, oh, okay. So the only thing I'm going to be able to do is just be the feminine component of the relationship. Now, a lot of dudes are glad that they're even just chose to be a part of this shit anyway. Yeah.
Yep, and they'll put up with it. And the funny thing is it was over a year ago, but I remember being on a stream and I had to break it down for a couple of them with that whole degree thing. And I told them, I said, never in all my days, in any man I have ever met, ever, when they chose to talk to a woman and hook up with her, his first response was, I got to get me a piece of that degree. Never.
Yeah, they never been like, oh my gosh, that degree turned me on.
Hey, well, you had listened to the short nigga then, Lawrence.
I'm sorry. Wait. What did you say? What was that? I missed that. What would you say?
I said you had listened to the short nigga. Because if she don't come from a top 10 university, she ain't got no chance.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and like I said, it's all on us now. It really is. And I'm not just saying that to sidetrack. It really is all on us now. And seeing how the game is played, the system is being used and abused, and et cetera, and so on. Look, I said it when I first got here, And I think within a year, it's become even more abundantly clear. So I'll repeat it one more time. The way this is going to end, your only choice is going to be to walk away.
Yes.
There's no other option. There is none. And even
There is a such thing as a no-win situation.
Yep.
There's a such thing. This is it.
Kobarashi Maru. Kobarashi Maru.
Yep.
And like I said, you ain't Kirk, so you don't have the cheat code. So it's just that simple. I mean, and it's not just us making the choice; it's them pushing us to that choice. And even then, like I said, they'll still find a way. Bachelor taxes, whatever it is, they're still going to find a way. But like you and I talked about one time before MOT, I'd rather pay the higher tax than to deal with it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what is my corporate setup so I can pay the least amount as possible?
Yep.
I don't even have the corporate setup, but I will take them increasing it over trying to have one in, and then gosh, because not trying to avoid paying a tax is pretty much like it's like becoming a lifetime smoker. You're killing your pockets and you're killing yourself anyway.
Yeah. Hey, don't laugh, because what he said is one of the theories I had in my mind that made me stop smoking cigarettes. That's the reason. When I started realizing what I was saving, and then I switched over to cigars, and because like I said, I used to do Camel non-filtered 2 packs a day. No lie, I'm not lying to you.
Killing the pockets and the body, boy.
Yes, I was. Camel non-filtered 2 packs a day.
God.
And but now it's like I'll have a cigar a day if I'm lucky, because there are days that go by. Like last time we talked, I just stopped.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The cigars and the coffee, I just cold stop. Just because every now and then you got to listen to your body. And when it says it needs a break, you take that break. Even if you don't realize that's why you're doing it, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I mean, you can call it fasting or whatever you want, but you need to give your body a break on things on occasion. But yeah, man, I mean, 2 packs a day, and it was 10 packs in a carton. So I'd be going through a carton a week, and then this was at a time, I know it's more now, but this is at a time when cigarettes were going for $8-9 a pack at the time.
So probably about 60-70 a carton.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Ooh, that's still too much for me.
Yeah, and now think about this. If I'm doing 2 packs a day and there's 10 in a carton, that means I'm doing 4 cartons a month.
Yeah.
And if not more.
No, probably more like 5.
Yeah, more like 5 counting the weekends. So now you take 60 and you multiply that by 5.
Ooh.
And that was my monthly expenditure. Mind you, that doesn't count the fact that I was spending an additional $300 to $400 a month on comic books, statues, and stuff like that.
Yeah, damn.
So I was blowing $1,000 a month just for pleasure.
Yeah.
Just for pleasure, and that's why I'm at where I'm at now. Where when we said earlier, I don't give a damn about BMWs anymore. I don't give a rat's ass about buying cartons for me or whoever else. I got a cigar for the day. I have a cup of coffee, and I move on. And my money goes into doing things that, at the very least, I hope have a more lasting impression on the world than just saying, here lies Lawrence, he liked to smoke and read comics. You know what I mean? I like it to be more than that on the tombstone. And I'm not trying to be great. I'm just trying to find a way to give back, if that makes sense. Because much is given, much is required, that kind of thing.
You got it. I think we've come to understand that that's just a part of who you are, part of your nature and character.
Yeah, but I have to be careful sometimes because you and MOT on separate occasions actually have explained to me, and New as well. New also did it as well. Explained to me that you just can't be nice to everybody.
Oh yeah. And to point that out, if anybody usually if it's in the chat or whatever, usually if it's them non-military but military name niggas, you
Yeah.
you can't trust them.
Well, they're next after I finish wiping out the older generation. when I'm done with the boomers, they're next.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat, they got the military name, but they ain't never been in the military. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't. I just look right over. I can't even pay attention to nothing they say.
I mean, even the military dudes don't do that. I mean, you don't see me put up Captain Lawrence Guy or anything like that. None of that nonsense is up there. Sergeant Major, yada yada. Come on now.
Yeah.
When the vast majority of people not in there, much less understand the level of the rank anyway. But they're funny. They're funny to watch. They're definitely. I think the worst one I've seen, and it's just the name. I'm not even going to get into the person. That's a whole different thing. But just the name alone, Private General. What the fuck? Private General. What the hell is a private general? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, man.
Oh, that was funny.
You just need to stop and just go back to bed. Just go back to bed.
Two polar opposite ranks.
And on top of that, you put the lower one in front.
Yes.
I mean, what the hell is that? Oh, geez.
That's funny.
You salute the man. You salute the rank, not the man. So, yeah, I'm not saluting you at all.
Oh, that's funny.
But I do have a nickel-plated 45 ready for you. That's all I'm saying. Do you understand M1911? Nah, what is that? Yeah, go back to bed. go back to bed. Go back to bed.
That's too funny. That's too funny.
Let's just go back to bed.
Yeah,
but overall, again with the tower, it's amazing to see that it still carries on to this day. And like I said, even when we are all talking the same language, we're still saying different things.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling. And as MOT said at the top of the show, can't come together except for mass burials, man. Either that or straight out war.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, that's the way it is, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take up so much of the show with my own anecdotes. That wasn't my
that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Good. Appreciate it. Let me see here.
Hey, Eisen, I'm gonna repost the show on my actual channel.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Oh, hey, real quick, MOT.
Yeah.
You're like me. You collected comics, right?
Not anymore. No, I don't do it.
No, but I mean, you used to though.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so happy George Perez Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The city honored him. This George Perez Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, man, I got some stuff that I do got to do, so we're gonna get ready to end this thing. I do want to say that Soul Provider does have a anime stream coming coming on about 3 hours here. So I'm gonna put that in the chat. Put the link to that in the chat. That way,
you got it, or you want me to look for it?
I got it. I'm gonna put it in here. All that way, everyone can come over there that wants to check that out. But that's all I got. But I'll do some closing thoughts here, Black Curls.
Yeah, thanks for, constantly sending me the links whenever I'm available so I can just hop on and get my younger brother perspective. And, thanks also to you in particular, Eisen, since you were like one of the first dudes I interacted early in this space, because I didn't really have the whole perspective. I just knew something was wrong. And then talking to you, and then seeing MOT and then Lawrence later on is like, okay, so something is wrong, but there's no turning back from this point. So let me just deal with it accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no problem. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot, man. I think we go all the way back to golly, I'm trying to remember. Man, it's been so long catch you on different panels in the chat and stuff. So it's been a long time. You're right. Man, and I'm just glad to get those different opinions that, like I said, whether it be of the same or whether it be something different. But it's, I don't mind the different outlooks and viewpoints that, we can use that are constructive, you know what I'm saying? And not just some bull crap. It's somebody just saying something, but something that we can actually use to help us understand ourselves and build. That's why I wanted this here. Thanks to you, Black Girls, for coming up. Lawrence?
Yeah, as always, thanks for having me. And it was great talking to all you guys again and having everybody in the chat. I'd like to do something a little different, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
There is a stream that Ike did 4 days ago, and it's called Leading and / or Managing a Team.
Well, I saw that, yeah.
And I think for brothers, just to be able to get a handle on themselves from an emotional perspective, to maintain a logical way of thinking and to go about working with people and becoming true leaders. If it's okay with you, I'd like to post that in the chat.
Oh, heck yeah. And matter of fact, while he's doing it, anybody that clicks on that link and hasn't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to Ike Ogia, man. He has great content, great philosophical content to pose great questions to make you reflect on yourself, man. Great introspective content.
And while you're there, also keep in mind he's got another one called Living from the Inside Out. Also, I'm telling you guys, go through his catalog.
It's so many. I got to catch up, man. But it's so many of them. Great stuff, man. I love Ike's channel over there, man. It's great.
I mean, he does everything from morality to meditation to dealing with your vices, female vices. I mean, the list goes on, man. Go through his catalog for real. You guys will not be disappointed. Will not.
Awesome content.
I put the one for the leadership, so it's going to take you straight. It's going to take you straight to that. Leading and managing a team. But like I said, when you get there, subscribe, man, and check out his content. He's solid. I'm telling you, he's solid as hell.
I agree.
And thank you, Eisen, for introducing me to him. I appreciate that.
I knew the type of content that he was doing. I knew that you would appreciate that and would enjoy it. Man, I have to check it out. Sometimes I get to catch the live, and sometimes, I have to end up catching the replay. It just depends on the time and the days and everything. But yeah, Ike has great content. So subscribe to that and check him out. Great stuff.
I got it set up that it'll go straight to my playlist. So if I don't catch it live, I'll catch the replay. Right. And I during the week when I'm working, I just let it play in the background, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Really great stuff. And it's impressive because I like the fact that he's telling it now, so brothers who are young enough can learn it, as opposed to, and I'm sure MOT will agree, we learned it the hard way by being thrust into leadership positions and et cetera and so on, and had to figure it out. But if you can get the basic foundation right out the gate from what he's showing, man, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of us a lot sooner than how long it took us to get there.
Right. And not only that, it also allows you to actually find out which category you fall into, whether you actually are a leader or a follower. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, for brothers who find out that they fall into the follow category, no shame in that.
Yeah.
No shame in that. Because there's been situations, man, where I couldn't be nothing but a follower. It's just what it is. And then there's others where I just led all the way. But that's life, man. It's ups and downs. It's balance,
Agreed. And the only thing after that that's important to know, once you find out you're a follower, is to have the discernment to know who to actually follow.
Exactly. And that thank you, because that's the point I was trying to get to about there being no shame in it. The only shame is if you so willingly give your loyalty away to people who don't deserve it. That's the only tragedy.
Oh yeah,
That's the only tragedy in being a follower. I'm sorry, MOT. What was that?
Dang.
You're borging.
Yeah, they got his signal right now.
Yeah, you're borging. But yeah, but what I was saying is that that's the true sorrow of being a follower. If you become that type,
Yeah,
where you willingly give your loyalty and your best time and years to people that aren't deserving of that, or rather to the leader you have who's not deserving of that, and that's important. That's important.
I agree.
You know, and last but not least, as always, hashtag men first.
All right. I don't know. See if Man of Tomorrow's in a better area real quick. You still there, man? MOT? Oh nope, he's gone.
Wait, actually, he started to say something and then it just dropped.
I know. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
You want to give him a minute to pop back in, or
man, he's probably busy.
okay?
We all know we appreciate MOT's opinion around here.
Absolutely,
Anyway.
absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate what he does. We know he's always gonna drop some bit of. Oh, here he comes. Wait, hold on. He's trying to connect. Give him a minute to try and connect back. That way we can let him say his piece. Saying your device not connected right now, MOT. Let him try and connect here for a minute.
I'm assuming he's on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. You know he is.
Yeah, he probably hit
him.
probably hit one of them dead spots again.
Yeah. It just depends on the spot. Yeah, that's the thing. Dang. MOT is saying you need to connect to your microcam before I can add you. I don't know if you can hear me.
And real quick, Ike, you're welcome, man. Look, you do good work, man. It's a pleasure to post it. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does very introspective work.
Yeah, great work. Yeah, I knew from the first time I got over there and I started going through the catalog to see what he was doing. Well, matter of fact, I think what maybe was when he was talking about an upcoming project that he had that he was going to do some content on there. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, man, I'm going to enjoy this. I subscribed immediately and I haven't regretted a bit of it. I think I know it's content that if you like that philosophical, introspective content, it's time well spent learning what Ike teaches over there. It's great content, and you will not be disappointed. But I think
no, not at all.
Yeah, I think MOT's in a bad spot right now, so we'll just kind of.
Because I know you watched it a couple of times and you called me.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, what's up? You're like, yo, I got this dude, blah 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 blah. Really? And then you just sent me the link. I was like, okay, been there ever since.
Yeah, great content. But yeah, I think MOT is kind of the environment's got him right now. But if he can hear, I appreciate you, MOT, for coming up to drop those gems of wisdom and knowledge. We appreciate all that you provide in this space, as well as you, Ike, and Lawrence, and Black Girls, you coming out here also providing that. Like I said, to any of the young dudes, don't ever think that you have nothing to actually offer this space or in life, period. You have valuable information as well that can be taught, that anybody can learn from, that everyone can learn from who actually wants to learn. Because there's one type of individual, that's pretty much just useless, and that's the one that thinks they know everything. You can't teach them nothing.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, man, that's all I got. Stay tuned. I've got some content ready. I think the next one I'll be doing will be on forgiveness. I've got it all typed up. I just got to get the stream and time and date and everything together, which will be the next Sunday. But I'll get all that together and get it posted. That way, you can go ahead and get that reminder going for that. But I just want to say thanks to everybody. Peace.